Hi folks, this is Evan Elderbrock from the Oregon Department of Forestry's Urban and Community Forestry program, and I'm going to share with you today the process for submitting a progress report in the UCF Subaward portal. So the first thing that you're going to do is go to the online grant portal webpage. You can either follow the URL or my recommendation is to go to the UCF Subaward program web page, and there's this big green button in the upper right hand corner that says online grant portal, and that will bring you right to the portal landing page. From there, you will enter your username and password and sign in. On the left hand side, you will see a grants tab, and that tab is where you will go to do all of the different things to access your grant and then do all the different things associated with that grant. So let's click on the grants tab, and then you will see your grant appear here. And so click on the grant that you'd like to submit a progress report for. And then you should see all of the different components associated with this particular grant. So you'll see claims, progress reports, amendment modifications, and so on and so forth. Today, we are going to be submitting a progress report. So I'm going to click on the progress report component. And you can see all the previous progress reports that were started or submitted, and their status. Today, though, we're going to be starting fresh with a new progress report. So we can add a progress report using this green button here on the right-hand side. The first thing you're going to do is select the subtype of progress report. So we have quarterly report and final report options. Please select the quarterly report option and then enter a title. For me, I'm going to just enter a simple title, maybe the name of my organization. So like ODF Q4 2025. So I'm marking what the reporting period is. So Q4 2025 progress report, something like that. And then I'm going to put the start and end dates in place for the reporting period for Q4, and then I will hit Save Form. And now you will see all the other components of the progress report. So we just completed the general information form. We now have the progress report form, the program project narrative, key milestones, and supporting documentation. So let's dive on in to the progress report form. So in the progress report form, you'll see a number of questions. We have the calendar year covered by this report. So as I said, this is Q4 of 2025. So I'm going to select 2025. And then we have quarter covered by this report. And as I mentioned, we're doing Q4. Have you submitted any claims this quarter? Let's say that I did submit a claim for some personnel and fringe. So I'm going to say, yes, I've submitted a claim this quarter. And then we're asked to provide updates on the project progress and how the activities have benefited the community of focus. So I'm just going to give a really brief example here, but this is where you can summarize all of the project activities and progress that you've had for this particular reporting period. So I might say during Q4 2025, we focused on planning and community engagement, specifically the urban forester identified locations for the 100 trees to be planted this winter, spring, and conducted 3 community engagement events to discuss the plan. At the events, we had over 50 total people attend. Information about tree species selection, site prep, and location selection were shared. All right, let's just stop there for now. You may have lots more information and different information to put in there, but that's sort of the extent of what we covered with this fictional project this quarter. So problems encountered. If you don't have any problems or if things are going as planned, you can put NA in here. If you do have challenges that you're encountering, like delays or change cost or conditions that significantly impaired the ability to meet project objectives and timelines, you could enter them here. So maybe for this project, we anticipated purchasing trees for planting, but did not get to it this quarter. We will purchase trees in Q1 2026. So any changes? The next question is, are there any changes to the objectives, budget, or so on and so forth? If that's the case, you'll need to submit a modification request to make those scope or budget changes. But for us currently, we'll say no changes planned. Actually, I'll add one, which is that in 2026, we'd like to amend our budget by consolidating the supplies line items, just to make submission of claims easier. Any other comments considered of importance to be discussed here? I'm going to say, nope, all good. And then we've got a number of certifications down here. The first one is I authorize the UCF program to use this report for informing leadership at the U.S. Forest Service and Oregon Department of Forestry. I authorize the UCF program to include information from this report in the U.S. Forest Service public-facing accomplishment reporting dashboard. So I'm going to select that I've read and acknowledge this statement to be true. I certify that the work outlined in the performance report is consistent with the financial reports that covered this reporting period. This is really important. This is just making sure that the information in the performance report or the progress report are consistent with the claims that have been submitted during this for this reporting period. And lastly, I certify that this performance report is true, accurate, and complete to the best of my knowledge. And I will say yes. So let's save that form. And then, like all other forms in web grants, you will need to mark it as complete. And note, the progress report cannot be submitted currently. That's because we still have the program project narrative, key milestones, and supporting documentation to complete. So let's go into the program project narrative. This section is really all about performance metrics. So you're going to give us an update on the performance metrics that you've completed to date. And there's 3 columns that you need to fill out. It's the quantity completed prior to this reporting period, the quantity completed this reporting period, and the description of the accomplishments completed this period. So I know one thing that's frustrating about the software is that it doesn't automatically upload the quantity completed prior to this performance period. So what I would recommend doing is duplicating your tab, opening another Web Grants tab, and in this tab, we're going to go back to our grant and look at our most recent progress report. And in that most recent progress report, you should see, oh, this is some old progress report. Let's look at one from Q4 2025. Well, in this test, we don't have any previously completed, but in your case, maybe in the last quarter you didn't have anything completed, but maybe you did. So the whole point of this is just to show you that I would take the previously completed progress report side by side with the current progress report, kind of like this. Maybe diminish those side tabs so you can see it clearly. Scroll down so you have your previously completed progress report over here, your to be completed progress report over here. I'm going to edit the grid, and I will be taking the quantity completed total column information and entering that into the quantity completed prior to this reporting period. So in this particular case, I have zeros across the board, but maybe let's say, for example, you actually had a management plan generated, or you had, 50 participants in community events, you'd enter those information here. So let's say there was this quantity completed total was 1 for management plan, and number of participants in educational, recreational, community building initiatives, let's say that was 50 just for fun here. So we'll enter those, and then let's enter the accomplishments from this period. So like I mentioned in my summarized status update, we didn't plant any trees. We expect to plant trees next quarter. Expected to plant, you don't have to enter this, but you can, 100 trees next quarter. Like I said, we had 50 people attend the three community engagement events with 50 total people in attendance. And let's say that actually I lied, the management plan wasn't completed last period, but this period. So urban forester completed management plan for 100 trees to be planted. All right, and those are the only updates I have from the performance metrics, so we can keep going down. And then there's this additional performance metrics section, and this is from the application. So if you had any performance metrics from the application that you added, they would show up here as a description, and you could enter the previously completed. In this case, I didn't have any performance metrics previously, so we would not enter anything in here. So we can leave those as zeros. I'm going to just put NA here as a placeholder, and then we'll keep scrolling down and you'll see additional performance metrics. So this is an opportunity for you to enter performance metrics that you're tracking, that you didn't put into the proposal, but they are things that are accomplishments that you'd like to for us to continue to track throughout the life of this subaward. So maybe for us, maybe we have one that is, I don't know, can't really think of something right now, but maybe it's, yeah, sure, companion plants or something like that. And we didn't complete any this period. We haven't completed any at all. So intending to plant companion shrubs with street trees. Okay. And now that we've finished this additional reporting metrics section, we can hit Save Grid. And we will move on to the next section. But before we move on, we have to mark this form as complete. And we'll go to the key milestones. And again, much like performance metrics, this is just sort of reporting out what you've done based on what you said was going to happen for your milestones. So for this, please do not use the add entry button. If you click the add entry button, what you'll see is that you can't actually add a new milestone. And if you were to save this it would create this blank milestone and it wouldn't let you submit it. So what we need to do is click into that and delete it. And the way that you enter reporting for your milestones is you just click into the existing milestones and update the percent completed prior, percent completed this period, and then the description of the accomplishments. So much like previously, you can see we didn't have anything completed last time. So I'm going to click into this and say percent completed prior to this expenditure period is 0. Percent completed this expenditure period, let's say it's 10. Completed planning and community outreach for tree planting events. And we'll save it. And since there's only one milestone to be completed here, that is all I'm going to do. So I'm going to mark it as complete. All right, and then the last piece is supporting documentation. You're not required to submit supporting documentation, but we encourage maps, pictures, or anything else that helps with the storytelling of your project, or helps, give credit to the things that you said you've done. So maybe we have pictures from some of the community events. You could submit that here. And so I'm going to say yes because I have pictures from my, and I have my management plan, let's say, my pictures from my event and a management plan. So let's upload a file. Let's pretend that this is a picture. So photo, we'll say there's multiple photos. Photo or photo from community engagement event. And then we're going to add a second attachment, which is our management plan for tree planting. And once we've uploaded those items, we're going to mark this section as complete. And you'll see now that the progress report is in compliance and ready for submission. So you can go through and edit any of these pieces that you want. But once you're ready, you can hit submit progress report, and that will go off to the primary point of contact for your project, who will review it and send it along to Hillary for final approval. So that is the progress report process. As a reminder, all documents associated with this subaward program can be found on the UCF subaward program website. If you scroll down to the All Entities subaward program drop-down tab, you can see all of those documents here. A number of things related to claims, progress report, tutorials, reporting schedule, and the amendments and modifications tutorial if you've made any or need to make any changes to your proposal. Those can all be found here. So please use this as a resource. As a reminder, these links get updated periodically, so bookmark the links rather than downloading the documents so that you always are accessing the most up-to-date information. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this tutorial has been helpful for you, and please reach out to your primary point of contact if you need any further support. All right. Take care. Thanks.